Our ISA team has made 970,000 calls to real estate leads. We've set 20,000 appointments, and the real estate agents we work with have closed thousands of deals from the appointments they've been taking. So we've made a lot of calls and we've gathered a lot of important information from it. In this video today, I'm going to share with you 3 things that you need to know if you plan on calling your leads or hiring an ISA or appointment setter to do that job for you. Those 3 things that you need to know are how many times to call each lead, what the heck to say on those calls, and how to tell a good call from a bad one. Let's get right into it. How many times should you be calling each lead in order to convert them into an appointment or a sale? Here's the problem. You're gonna call each lead too many times if they're not picking up the phone. You're wasting your time calling dud leads. Where is the point of diminishing returns? You don't want to be leaving potential money on the table by not calling your leads enough. What we've found is that 80% of leads who pick up the phone will do so in the first 5 calls over 3 days. Use the 80-20 rule here. 80% of your leads who pick up the phone will do so over the first 5 times of calling them in the first 3 days of becoming a lead. At an absolute bare minimum, whoever the hell's calling your leads, whether it's yourself or an associate or an ISA, they must, at a bare minimum, be calling the leads 5 or 6 times over the first 3 days of them coming in. Speed to lead is also a huge factor when making that first call. 500% more likely to reach that lead and talk to them if you call them within 5 minutes of them opting in and giving you their information. Another 15% of appointments that our team set came in from the 6th to 12th call after the next 25 days. If that lead didn't pick up after that 5-day period, which is the most important, we were still able to convert another 15% of leads. Now, after that period, our team was able to convert maybe another 5% of leads if they hadn't picked up the phone within the first 30 days. What does this mean to you? Well, at a bare minimum, if your lead isn't picking up the phone, you should at least be calling everyone 5 times over 3 days. If you have more time, then you can make calls 6 to 12 in order to increase your appointment rate. But if you have less time, you really got to prioritize on the 80% that drives the most results, which is the new calls with the new leads. If you can't keep up with your calls, then I'd recommend hiring an ISA or an appointment setter for $5 an hour to call your leads, qualify them, and set you appointments. That way, you can focus on meeting clients, not prospecting to find them. It takes a lot of work off your plate. Next, what are the best things that you can say on the phone to increase that person's interest and set an appointment with them, in person or a Zoom call, whatever the next step is? Well, your job is to understand that person's current situation and then their desired situation, and then place yourself in the middle between those 2 things as the vehicle to get them to their desired situation. That's pretty theoretical. Let's dive into the tactics. To understand that person's situation, number 1 is criteria. What kind of home do they want? Number 2, area of interest. Where specifically do they want to move? Number 3, are they committed to an agent? And if they are, have they actually signed anything? Number 4, motivation to move. Number 5, timeline for moving. Number 6 is their price range or their budget. Number 7, have they been pre-approved for that amount? And if not, are they currently working with a lender to make that happen? Number 8 is, are they a homeowner? And if they are, do they plan on renting that home out or selling after their next purchase? Also, do they know what their home is truly worth and what is their address? Those are the things that you must ask on each call to get a good understanding of who you're talking with. Where are they now? And then where do they want to go? Now it's time to place yourself in the middle. Based on what they've told you now, how can you help them out? What's in it for them? The better they understand the value in working with you, the more likely they're going to show up to that appointment excited to work with you. Next is how to tell a good call from a bad one. So there are actually 10 criteria that we listen for when grading calls. Number 1 is tone of voice. So you actually want to mirror and match that lead's tone and energy on the phone. And we recommend having an actual mirror in front of you when you're making calls because your tone of voice often matches your facial expressions. Number 2 is what we call follow-up script. So that's always asking those 8 questions that we just went over before setting up an appointment, so you have a clear understanding of this person's situation. Number 3, rapport and empathy. So finding common ground with the lead. Number 4 is active listening. So paying attention to all the details that were said on the call and then including those on your notes. Number 5 is targeted questions. So they're like follow-up questions after you get a response from them. Number 6 is targeted solutions. So putting that lead's doubt or objections or problems at ease because you offer a solution to their problem. Very important when getting them interested in working with you. That's what's going to set you apart from the others. Number 7, objections. How are you handling those roadblocks that inevitably come up on every call? Number 8, we call power phrases. So that's using words that bring life to the conversation. Number 9 is agent info. So things that sell you as the agent and add value for working with you. Number 10, did the lead sound convinced? So were they actively participating in the conversation as like a two-way thing, or were they just saying yes to get you off the phone? Again, those are 10 things that we always listen to when we're grading calls that a real estate agent makes to their leads or an ISA calling leads on an agent's behalf. It helps to use an objective scale so you can really grade each call evenly rather than just using feeling and say, yeah, it sounded good, sounded bad. So again, in this video, we talked about how many times you should call each lead, what the heck to say on each call, and how to tell a good call from a bad one. Hope you found that helpful, and good luck when calling your leads.